In the last video, I created the random function here, but it might not be entirely clear exactly why I created it. You'll recall that the random function will return a random number that is probably going to be very large. And that number is pseudo-random, so it's not truly random. It can be kind of predicted ahead of time. I'm only using it in this contract for development purposes. It is not going to actually be deployed in a very serious fashion, only because this function right here cannot be trusted. So now that I have the random number generator right here, I can use it to randomly pick a winner out of the player's array. So how am I going to use a really large number to randomly pick a player? So let me demonstrate a diagram. There it is. All right. So here's the diagram. And so right here is the line of code I'm going to write. I'm going to break this down step by step. First thing I'm going to do for this line of code right here is to select the winner is to call random. And I'm going to call the random function that I created. And notice that to reference a function defined inside my contract, I don't have to put this, I don't have to put this keyword in front of it. I don't have to do this dot random. I can just say random from another function, and that will automatically call it. So this is going to return to me a very large number. I can then use the modulo operator. The modulo operator works in the exact same way that it does in JavaScript. So it essentially returns the remainder of the division between two numbers. And so allow me to demonstrate. I'm going to go ahead and open up a console here. Okay, and what I'm going to do is, so in the console I type 10 modulo 3. Well, 3 goes into 10 evenly 3 times. So 3 times 3 is 9. So that leaves 1. So we would have a remainder of 1. So the modulo operator returns to us the remainder of a division. Similarly, I can do 10 modulo 4. So 4 goes into 10 2 times, and there is a remainder of 2, like so. I can use this property to get us an index of the winner inside of my players array. So I will say, going back to the diagram, random modulo, and then players.length. So this is the number of players who have entered into my lottery, and that will return to me the remainder of division between random and the player's length. This number is always going to be between 0 and 1. Between 0 and 1 minus players.length. So I can use that number as the index of our winner inside of the players array. So let's assume we have an array of 3 players in the console. So go back to the console here. Just say console, not console. We're in the console. Const players. I'm going to say first player, Oscar. Second player, say Greg. Third player, I will say, oh, come on, Joseph. All right. Now, if I take a really large number and do modulo players.length like so, go ahead and do int on 4, 1, 0, 1, 0, 2, 2, 2, 0, 8, 27, 99, 8, 5, 9, 1, 6, 8, 8, 0. All right, it's good enough. Then I do modulo players dot length. In this case, it gives me 0, an index of 0. So in this case, Oscar would be the winner because inside of my index array, inside of my index array, Oscar is at index of 0. Okay, now if I use a completely different random number, so let's try 4, 7, 4, 5, 2, 2, 8, 9, 7, 6, 7, 4, 3, 7, 6, 2, 9, 9, 7, 6, 0, 9, 2, 5, 7, 2, 0, 4, 7, 8, 5, 1, 6, 2. All right, that's good enough. And then I say modulo players dot length. Oh, well, once again, in this case, Oscar would be the winner again because he is at the index of 0. So eventually, if I make these numbers large enough, different enough, you would get to, we try this again. Add this, and then maybe I'll add some of these. To modulo players dot length. There we go. And in this try, the numbers, the random, pseudo randomly generated numbers, modulo players dot length gave me an index of 1, and Greg is at the index of 1, so Greg would have won that time around. All right, I think you get the idea. So that's how I'm going to use this really large random generator to somehow select a winner. Now let's start working on my pick winner function inside of the Remix tool. Close this function, pick winner. All right. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make this public function. And I made this function public. And so now inside of here, I want to start to create a local variable temporarily to store the index of the winner inside of my players array. So maybe I'll create a new uint called, I'll call it index, and that will be the index of the person that is going to win. So, sorry, I don't know what I'm doing here. Uint index random modulo players dot length. Okay. And so now, if I have 3 players, index will be either 0, 1, or 2. Keep in mind that the random function is pseudo-random. I don't actually know what its value might be. Okay. Let's see. Function statement can be restricted to view function. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's the same. One unusual local variable event. All right, no worries. What I'm going to do is in the next video, I'll talk about how I can use this index to send the winner some money and continue to, write this, make sure that this is a properly functioning function. I'll see you in the next video.